that story then.
Hey, we are live. It is Wednesday, it's 1 p.m. in the UK, and that can only mean one thing. It's the Expert Stories live show, and I'm really looking forward to this show because we are hands across the sea on this one with Jessica McGregor Johnson, and we're going to find out some really cool stuff about the feelings behind marketing. And I'm also going to be asking Jessica about her amazing retreats, which are becoming legendary in their field. So welcome, Jessica. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Very glad to be with you here, Johnny. And,
yeah, superb. It's great to have you.
Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm just sharing this video around so I can see it on my 3-screen setup. I tell you what, if you could see this, it's like Mission Control Houston in here. I've got blooming screens everywhere. So I mentioned hands across the sea. First of all, tell us where you are in the world.
Well, today I'm actually in Switzerland, but normally when you speak to me, I'm in Spain because I've lived in Spain for 19 years now.
Superb.
Yeah, went for a 2-week holiday, thought it was much nicer than London and decided to stay.
Yeah, I would concur. What part of Spain are you exactly? Can you position it for us?
Well, I'm down on the south, on the Mediterranean, about an hour east of Malaga and an hour south of Granada. So
superb. So Andalusia?
Yeah, Andalusia, absolutely.
Yeah. How absolutely fabulous. How come you're in Switzerland then? What that'll be?
My partner has a business in Zurich. And so every now and again I deign to visit, but more often than not, I'm the one down in Spain. It's like, well, come and see me.
All right. I thought you were going to say you're visiting your bank account, actually.
I wish.
Okay, fantastic. Well, look, you triggered something when we were just talking earlier about the feelings behind marketing. Tell us a bit about that, your take on that, and why that's so fundamental for you.
Well, let me tell you a bit of a story, and to illustrate that is that, gosh, it must be about 6 or so years ago now.
Yeah,
I was very much, marketing my little socks off, and had an A3, A4 pages of to-dos and do this and put this here and put that there and everything as is easy to create. And I was getting really stressed about it, and it wasn't really working very well. And I was doing everything I was told to do. And then somebody actually said to me, she said, just stop everything you do for a month and see how you feel and just calm the whole thing down. Okay. So I did. And I actually tore up my to-do list at that point. And following her advice, I just focused on feeling good about the work that I was doing, which was with the clients that I had. Yeah. And everything just started to settle and everything just started to flow again. And I realized, and it's something that, you always teach what you most need to learn. And it's something I talk about a lot of the time and have done in the whole 16 years I've been doing this, is that the energy with which you do something actually has a huge effect on how it works. Because I was doing all the right things. I was doing the Facebook and the social media feeds and everything else, but I was stressed. I was pretty much hating it. Yeah. And I wasn't in a right space for it actually to work, because if you want something to come back, you've got to send the right energy out. Yeah. So my golden rule is now, whenever I do anything on the marketing front, and I don't do that much, but when I do, I have to feel good first. And the way I just describe that to some people is that, how when you sometimes have somebody walk in a room, and you feel when they walk in a room, they've got like a little black cloud over their head, okay? And you say to them, hi, how are you? And they go, I'm fine. And they're lying through their teeth because you can feel it.
Yeah.
And just feel it. And that's what I mean, is that you have to feel positive, enthusiastic, excited, enjoying what you do for whatever you do to work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting that little description you gave there of asking someone how they feel. I don't think most people know how they feel most of the time. They just trot out a stock answer that they expect you to want to hear. I mean, my dad never responded with anything other than "not so bad, That was his go-to. Yorkshireman, you see, very kind of stoic.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever gave any thought to how he actually felt. He just said that, you know.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
some people don't want to know how they feel because they might be unlocking a Pandora's box that they can't close again. And so
Yeah.
hence the stock answer. It's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you imagine if we all really drilled into that before we answer? We just took a breath and stepped back. How
Mm.
do I feel?
Yeah.
It'd probably be a 10-minute answer, wouldn't it? Of
Yeah.
all the different things you were feeling right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
And why? Okay. Well, what is your you know, in terms of your business, what is your superpower then? What do you bring to the world?
Clarity. Really, in a nutshell, clarity. People who come to work with me are in a fog. They're really stuck. They might be really successful, but they're pretty miserable and they can't work out why. And they
Yeah.
can't work out what's missing from life. And often it's a deeper kind of fulfillment that's missing. So they've got this lovely thing called success, but it's fleeting. It's like success, tick, now what? Success, tick, now what?
Yeah, right.
And I help people find clarity on what fulfillment means and how they can live that and the success, because I'm a great one for not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So how can they have both? How can they find that clarity, find their answers? Because most people come to me with a huge I don't know.
Can you give us an example of somebody that you've helped to find clarity? What were they like when they came to you, and then what did you do, and you know, how did they go away?
Yeah, I had somebody come to me a couple of years ago. She was very successful in what she did, very undervalued in what she did and where she was, and was just ripe to take off and kind of go and do what she was. She was a kind of a change management. She worked in the change management field, and she worked within a large organization. And she was just right to go and do it for herself as a consultant. But she didn't have the clarity of what that could mean for her. And she had too much of her old baggage of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, you know, that's not what I have to be safe. All those things kind of holding her back. And so when she came on retreat, the first thing we did was look at all the baggage and just clear that. And I use very much just conversationally. There's sometimes I might use an exercise, but more often than not, it's just through conversation. And then really getting clear on, okay, well, now we've got rid of the no's or the I can'ts. What does it actually look like? What could this new life look like for you? This new career, this new work, you know? And she realized when she got rid of the stuff, that actually she had all the contacts in place. She had everything she needed to launch herself into a new kind of stratosphere, really. She just hadn't been able to see it because she was so caught up in the, you know, this is my small world. And so I actually got an email from her a couple of weeks ago describing this year, because it was a year or so. And she's just like taken off, just completely taken off. And what's interesting is that she said it hasn't been a year without challenges, but she's known she could meet all the challenges because of the clarity she had about what she could offer and who she was. And so she met the challenges, overcame them, soared above them, and just carried on. So
it sounds like you kind of guided her to her true potential, really.
Yeah. A lot of times it is that, for sure.
How did you learn to make money doing this then? I mean, that's what a lot of coaches struggle with, even though they're pretty good at what they do. Actually making a living from it eludes many people for years sometimes, isn't it?
It does. I mean, for me, it was interesting because when I became a coach, while I was living in Spain. And one of the things I realized that if I tried to make money living in Spain with Spanish clients, I was going to be poor because there just wasn't the money there behind. You know, people don't pay very much for things in Spain because of the way the economy is. You know, most people earn €1,000 a month, so they're not going to pay a huge amount of money for a coach. And anyway, my Spanish wasn't good, so I was only going to be talking to expats. But so one of the things that I did is that right from the beginning, and this was 16 years ago when the internet was a very different place, I decided I had to get all my clients through the internet. And a lot of the first few years what I did was that I wrote a lot of articles, and I did a lot. So I kind of got my name out there a lot, and I gradually built up my pricing. And I think one of the things that is really, really key is understanding your own value, because I think a lot of people undervalue themselves. They think because they're starting out, they think because they haven't got, they've not got lots of kind of credibility necessarily behind them, that they have to start out at a very low price. And you do have to build your price, but you have to own your value. And each time I put my pricing up, I've done it because I've realized that I'm feeling undervalued by my own pricing. And I have a thing which again uses feelings, which is something called the right price. Yes. Which is when you're looking at, particularly at raising your prices, what I do is I kind of go, okay, let's put it up to X amount. And then I check out literally in my body, how does that feel? Yeah. Does it feel slightly trepid? Am I kind of slightly about that, fearful about that? Or do I feel like, oh, actually, that's not really even enough yet? And I listen to where I am in my body, because my body is a fantastic feedback mechanism. Yeah. Because one of the things I absolutely know with pricing is that if I just put it up without checking and I've gone too high, even though I might think that it's an okay price, if my energy is not right behind it, I will get price objections every single time.
That's really cool. That's a really interesting way to do it. So how long does it normally take before you realize the price is resonating with you or not?
It doesn't take very long. I mean, I'm very used to listening to my body, so I think that's a really key thing. You have to kind of, if you're not used to that so much, you have to get very used to feeling how your body responds to things. So, for example, if you want to check out something, sit there, just take a few deep breaths, kind of feel your feet on the floor, feel your body on the chair, close your eyes, think of something you really, really hate, and notice how you feel in your body. Yeah. And then kind of clear that screen, look around, do it again. Now think of something you absolutely love. Yeah. And feel how that feels in your body. Yeah. And then, again, get centered, close your eyes. Think of a higher price than you're thinking right now. Yeah. Does it feel more like the stuff you hate, or does it feel more like the stuff you love?
So you're kind of calibrating your feelings at that point with the two extremes, and see where the pricing sits in the middle. Then
there'll be one that just feels just right. Yeah, that feels good. I can and the thought you want to be having is, I can really stand behind that price. Yeah. And if anybody says to me, why do you charge that amount? I'm not going to feel put off by that question. I'm going to feel really comfortable answering that question. I'm going to know exactly why that's my value. Yeah. If you do that, I very rarely ever get I don't get price objections. I sometimes get people who can't genuinely afford me, and that's a different thing. But I don't get price objections. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That is a different thing. Yeah, fascinating. I don't think I've ever had a price objection when you frame it like that. Yeah, I'm putting the price up for my signature program in January, actually. So I'll run that little test. That's an interesting way to do it. I'll just sit quietly if I can find some quiet time in the family home. All right, look.
I was talking to somebody who'd put her prices up without doing this, and she said, I haven't got any clients. And I'm like, how do you feel about it? She said, well, I feel a bit uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
So
that's really powerful stuff, Jessica. Thanks for bringing that out. I want to ask you a bit about your retreats as well, because I have a number of clients in the glorious kingdom of Spain, and it's always a feature of your business that the sun is shining more than we get our share of up here in the north of Europe. So what are your retreats like? How do you put them together? What do people experience when they come and see you?
Well, the retreats are individual, one-on-one. Right. And the reason I created those is because I used to do a group retreat with another coach, which was a 7-day retreat. And I noticed in that experience that because I was in a group, you have to have a program. So people have to kind of almost like squeeze into that program, and there wasn't any room for any individual work with people. And I worked out that I could probably do more work with a single person on a 2-day retreat than I could do with somebody on a 7-day retreat. So I devised these 2-day retreats. People fly out like on the afternoon of the first day, have 2 full days working together, and then fly back on the morning of the 4th day. And I don't have a program at all. It's completely focused on the intention that they set of what they want to get out of it. The retreat is called Get Unstuck, because when I looked back through all the emails that I'd had over the years from clients, the key word that stood out more than anything is I'm stuck. And I'm like, okay, let's have a Get Unstuck retreat then. And it can get unstuck in your relationship, get unstuck in your career, get unstuck in your life in general. Whatever topic they want to bring, get unstuck in your business. Whatever topic they want to bring is what we work on. And I very much serve that intention. So it's quite interesting because we go off on lots of different tangents in our conversations, and lots of different topics come in. But always we get to the end of the last day and we kind of look at the intention and go, yeah, we've done that. Cool. So it tends to just unfold in that way. And I love it because everyone's different.
Everyone's different. It's just and endless variety, just like humans.
Yeah,
wonderful. Well, look, just a couple of questions to wrap up. I'm intrigued to know where you're going with all this, because you've been doing it for a while, as you've said, more than a decade. And if we were to meet again in, I don't know, say three years time, so it's the end of 2022, and we meet on some craggy headland overlooking the Mediterranean, and go, hey Jessica, I haven't seen you for 3 years. How's it been? What would you be telling me?
It's been fabulous. I mean, I have a fantastic work-life balance in that I probably work 50%. Don't want to work any more than 50%, thank you. I've got a horse that I need to ride and a life to live as well. If anything has changed, I think what I'm beginning to focus on, and I'm focusing on for the coming year, is to work more with what I call the influencers. So supporting people who want to make big impact in the world in some way or another, because that interests me. And I think it's fascinating to work with people like that. So that's kind of my, not saying not working with other people who are kind of just very generally stuck in their life, but for people who are, yes, they're successful, but they want to bring in another element. They want to bring in an element that will make them feel more fulfilled in their lives in general. And I think that's what I would like to be saying to you in a couple of years, is that my clients are still the kind of successful people, but we're working on some really lovely, meaty projects.
Yeah, superb. Well, amen to that. I'm sure you will get there, because from what I know of you, you are a lady of intentions and determination, and whatever you want to do is there for you to do, isn't it? One final question then. This might challenge you a bit, or it might be on the tip of your tongue already. I want you to teach us one thing that we don't know in the next couple of minutes.
About anything in particular?
Yeah, something that you know, but that we probably don't in the next couple of minutes. Anything at all.
The most important moment of your life is now. Right now. Now is the only moment where you have any true influence. You can make plans for the future. But you can't actually make a change in the future unless you focus on now, this moment in time. The past is the past. You can learn from it, but don't carry it with you. Let it inform your future. But now is the most crucial moment in your life.
Yeah. I'm feeling that. I am feeling that.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me all the stuff I have to do now as well. So well done. Thanks very much for that. Listen, it's been absolutely great to have you on the show. We've had quite a few people watching live. There's going to be a ton more watch the recordings, I'm sure, all across our various media. So it's been absolutely brilliant. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fabulous Christmas, Jessica.
And you.
And, we'll catch up with you very, very soon. We are doing another show on Friday, by the way, you lovely lot. And on Friday, we have the wonderful Bal here, who I think is in Holland. I may be wrong, but he's gonna share some incredible stuff with us as well. So see you on Friday. See you very, very soon, Jessica. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye.
And let's get out of here. Bye bye.